Hello learners, I hope you're doing well and you're finding the sessions interesting and useful. I'm Ajit K. Mishra. I'm here again with you all with a new session, and this time I'm going to talk about professional well-being. We know we all are professionals either now or we are going to be professionals very, very soon, and we'll be entering a very new ecosystem where we'll be contributing to the fortunes of an organization while improving ourselves yet further. So our professional well-being matters, and if we do not take care of our professional well-being, our work life will be very short and will be very disturbed. It will be anxiety ridden, and that will lead to problems for ourselves, our psychological well-being, emotional well-being, social well-being and physical well-being as well. So with a great focus on our professional well-being, we can ensure that we have a good work life which doesn't interfere with our well-being. So there are a few things that are important when it comes to professional well-being. These are the factors of professional well-being, and very important ones. The first such factor is mindset. It is all in the mind, it is all about the mind, and it is all about the mindset that we create for ourselves, that we carry to our workplaces. The third is a growth mindset, which is again a great mindset, and this is also in stark contrast to fixed mindset, a mindset that will never move. It is fixed. So it is in an inertia state. A growth mindset will take us places, will drive us to go for things, and sometimes it will also drive us to go for the stars. So that's the power of a growth mindset. So I'm reminded of a wonderful statement issued by the futurist, American futurist L10, who has said that the illiterates of the 21st century are not those who cannot read or write. Rather, the illiterates of the 21st century are those who cannot learn, unlearn and relearn. It's all about lifelong learning. It's all about going there with an open mindset, with a growth mindset, a mindset that always believes in growth. With a fixed mindset, we can generally attribute our results to innate ability, and we discount learning, something that Toffler has warned all of us against. We think people are naturally good at what they do, and either they have it or they don't. On the other hand, a growth mindset is a learning mindset. So the learning curve is always an upward moving curve in a growth mindset. So it is the belief that we can improve at whatever we do through the right training. It's not that I did something in the past with great success. It will not mean that I cannot do the same thing in a different way and more efficiently in the future. It's all about getting the right training. It's all about learning, unlearning and relearning. So growth mindset will ensure that the learning curve never stops. So these are the three very important mindsets. Now the question is, how to improve professional well-being or professional tasks. Now the question is, how to improve professional well-being. There are two ways through which we can think of improving our professional well-being. One, through professional tasks. That means by performing all those professional assignments and tasks that have been given to us or that have been entrusted to us. So let's take a look at the components of this particular thing. We need to seek out challenges. If I go to my workplace just to feel safe and secure, and I do not do anything to stretch myself, to think out of the box, to go that extra mile, to do something meaningful and creative, if I just turn out to be a safe professional, that means a professional who plays it very safe. If I do not take risks, if I do not think creatively, it will mean that my professional well-being will be absent. It will not be experienced. Because if we do not stretch ourselves, after a certain period, we will fossilize. And once we begin to fossilize, we will lose contact with ourselves and others. And that will lead to some emotional challenges, some emotional disappointments and distress as well. The second is, we need to go beyond our limits. How often do we explore the possibility of going beyond our limits? And see how often people say, no, that's my limit. I know my limit. Who has told you that you have a certain limit? You may not be able to see that. Somebody else can let you know that you can go beyond your limits. But before that comes from outside, it has to come from within. That yes, I can go beyond my limits and see how all great things in this world have happened. Only when people go beyond their limits. So this habit is going to work wonders for our professional well-being. If we decide to go beyond our limits, that means we'll be rejuvenating and reinventing ourselves. That is the hallmark of any successful life. The third is to cultivate a great growth mindset. I talked about growth mindset. So growth mindset has no substitutes. You just believe in growing and growing and growing. So once you decide to grow, you can flow and flourish. The fourth is by becoming a lifelong learner. So if we decide to be a lifelong learner, there is nothing better than that, because this life teaches us great life lessons and great life skills at every moment. All we need to do is to keep ourselves open to such learning situations, and we will be wiser every moment. So if we decide to be a lifelong learner, it will happen. Otherwise, if we say that the doors of learning are closed because I have finished my education. So education and learning are two very different things. So learning can happen for a lifetime, but education may not. So deciding to become a lifelong learner can ensure professional well-being. Similarly, if we learn how to embrace failure, it's not about accepting failure. Accepting failure is one thing, and embracing failure is another thing. That means if we learn how to embrace failure, we will be dissecting failure. We'll be trying to find out what actually resulted in that particular thing. That's failure. So by embracing failure, we will be dissecting failure and we'll be closer to understanding what went wrong. And then finally, we can ask for feedback. This feedback is not a mechanical feedback for which you need to distribute feedback form or anything. No, this feedback is a functional feedback. Every time we interact with people, every time we work on a project together, every time we pass on information or exchange ideas or views, we can actually look for feedback from the other side. Sometimes we can also seek feedback in an official manner from our colleagues, from our management. So that way it can help us grow. It can help us find better ways to contribute to our success in our workplace, and that will also ensure our professional well-being. All these things are very, very important when it comes to ensuring our professional well-being. So these are professional tasks or professional assignments. The second part of it is personal tasks. That means apart from the professional tasks, there are certain personal tasks that we also need to take care of if we have to improve our professional well-being. And those personal tasks will include great listening and speaking skills. By now, you all know how important listening and speaking skills are. I'm talking about active listening and speaking skills. So, great listening and speaking skills will ensure that we are doing well personally. Similarly, developing great people skills. That means if I can understand people better, then there is nothing greater than that. Because we come across all types of people in the workplace. They bring to us different orientations, cultural, religious, spiritual, professional, all sorts of orientations. And when that happens, that can lead to confusion, that can lead to conflict. So if we develop great people skills, if we develop a greater understanding of people around us, and that can be developed through empathy, through connection, through trust building, through relationship building, and a lot of things. Once we understand people well, we can ensure a good environment at the workplace, and we can also ensure our professional well-being. Emotional regulation, I have talked about it in great detail, is again a great personal task that we need to perform if we have to ensure professional well-being in the workplace. And then personal care. We need to take care of ourselves, and we also need to inspire others to take care of themselves. So personal care can be taken through yoga, mindfulness, and that 1 minute vacation where while working on your system, you can suddenly go for that 1 minute vacation. You can close your eyes, stop working, close your eyes, and then take that 1 minute vacation. Forget your work, forget everything, just get into yourself. So go for an inward journey. Try to rediscover yourself. Are you doing well? Are you feeling fine? Are you comfortable? Are you emotionally stable? Are some of the questions that you find an answer to during that 1 minute vacation. If that doesn't happen, if we do not take our personal care, it will mean that we are rapidly developing into a yes person. That means we will readily agree to everything and everyone. So this yes person can never ensure professional well-being. So we need to avoid that yes person. And then finally, and most importantly, the work-life balance. So if we fall short of this particular expectation, it will mean that we'll ruin our professional, our emotional, our psychological well-being. So our relationships will also be ruined if work-life balance is not maintained. So we need to understand that there is a life beyond this work, and we are working just to take care of that life. So there are people who expect things from us. There are people who are looking forward to us for their emotional support, and they treat us as their emotional support. When we understand this, it will mean that we create work-life balance. If it goes amiss, it will mean that our professional well-being is ruined or spoiled. With that, we come to the end of this session. I'm very sure you have taken note of all these important things that I talked about in this session, and I'm also sure that you're going to explore these things yet further, and when that happens, I'm very sure you will develop great professional well-being skills. Our well-being skills, which are psychological, social, professional and emotional well-being skills, will ensure ultimately that we live a good and healthy life, and we are in a position to contribute in a much better way to our work, our life and our society as well. So with that, we come to the end of this session. So thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.